Hey, welcome back to Healing Movements. So excited to see you again. This is Dr. Mark Hastings. The last exercises we did completed the chair exercises. We start on a chair for a lot of reasons, but the first two is one, you don't have to balance, which makes it a lot easier. And secondarily, when you do a hip hinge, your pelvis has to move behind you so far that if you were to try and learn that in just freestanding space, it would take years. So we take that out of the equation, we sit you down, there's no balance problem, you're strengthening the back, but also you have now established the neurologic pattern of your pelvis being way behind you. And it's what that does is it turns your whole pelvis into a counterbalance weight, and it turns your hips into a fulcrum. And that's how we're meant to lift. And if you don't believe that's true, look at any infant and see how they bend and lift. They use a hip hinge to both squat and to pick things up in a deadlift. But now that you've strengthened on the chair, and that takes weeks to master that and to get good at that, it's time to start to use the wall and standing. And what we use the wall for is a tactile object to understand where our pelvis is when we're doing a hip hinge. So this part is complicated. You're going to have to pay attention and try to really understand what I'm saying. But what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the wall. Feet are shoulder width apart, toes face forward, and you need to be very close to the wall when you start. But what you're going to do with the hip hinge is with the knees slightly bent, you're going to bring your pelvis back to the wall until it just touches. If you fall into the wall, you're too far away. No matter what you want, you need to choose a distance that you're in complete control. So you come back to the wall, there's the beginning of a hip hinge right there. If you can do that, you move forward a little bit. You put your hands in front for a little bit of extra counterbalance weight, but here, I'm in a pretty good hip hinge right here, and if I had a load, I could just stand up and pick it up with my hamstrings, my glutes, and the muscles on my back, both strengthening my back and using my body correctly. So over the next couple weeks, we're going to be using the wall. We're going to be doing the same exercises that we did in the chair, but we're going to be doing them with the wall. And then we're going to transport all that into real bending and lifting, and that's how this series is going to finish. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Please hit the like and the subscribe button, and we'll be back next week for some more good wall exercises.